And now to Afghanistan, where there's been a powerful bomb explosion in the capital, Kabul. Officials say security forces surrounded the area after the explosion, which was followed by heavy gunfight. Now, the casualties are still unclear. The blast took place in central Kabul, where mainly official buildings are located. However, the target remains unknown. Afghan's presidential office has condemned the attack, and the Taliban have claimed responsibility for the bombing. Last week, militants announced the start of their annual spring offensive across Afghanistan. This is the first assault since then. Let's cross over to Kabul, joined by Press TV's correspondent, Fayez Khurshid. Fayez, thanks so much for being with us. Well, of course, we have these interviews all too often together. Another explosion. Tell us what you know about this latest situation.
Marzi, it seems to be an organized and large-scale attack against Afghan security forces. We have been told by high-level sources here in Kabul that it was a car bombing. One of the bombers detonated explosives. Others got inside a building which is used by Afghan secret intelligence forces. And the job of this department is to protect top Afghan politicians across the country. Now, heavy gun battle continues here in Kabul. No group has yet claimed responsibility for this, but a spokesperson for the Taliban has claimed responsibility for the attack on his Twitter page. Some Afghan officials have told us that around 6 people have been killed. Others are saying that 20 others have been wounded, but the exact number of casualties is still not known. We understand that it happened during rush hour. People were outside of their homes. Children were going to school, and there were a large number of people at the scene when the explosion happened. And this is believed to be part of the Taliban spring offensive. The Taliban annual offensive is now in full swing, and Taliban promised to attack Afghan government buildings and diplomatic posts in this country. And 2016 has already been proven to be a deadly year in Afghanistan. A large number of children, according to United Nations, have been killed and wounded in the first quarter of this year. And more casualties are expected this year too, because the Taliban are saying that they would continue with their attacks, and all they want is to take over this country. But it doesn't mean that the Afghan government is not fighting against them. The Afghan Ministry of Defense has doubled its operations against both the Taliban and ISIL Takfiris, both in eastern Afghanistan and also in the south, that remain the main strongholds of these terrorist groups.
And Fayez, about the explosion itself, do we know that if it was a car bomb or an individual? Do we have information about that side of things?
Well, it was a car bomb, and it was very huge, and it happened in a very strategic place, very close to the Afghan presidential palace, Ministry of Defense, and other government buildings. And it's a highly fortified place. We understand that there are a large number of checkpoints. Despite that, these terrorists could get to the scene and attack a very highly fortified building.
Thank you so much for that update out of Kabul. Press TV's Fayez Khurshid.